In modern times, we've seemed to have lost our way, and we are afraid to be different. It seems like most of us are living in a delusional bubble. But when you step outside that bubble into reality, you quickly realize we are different, and the world treats us different. It's okay to be different. We are meant to be different. As a man, here are some things that makes us different from women. When a war breaks out, women and children must evacuate first. All men must stay and fight in a time of war. We've seen what happened in Ukraine. In a draft, men are the only ones being recruited. Here are some other things. 92% of all pilots are men. Coal miners, only 3.8% are women. In agriculture, while the numbers of women in agriculture are rising, few hold leadership positions in the industry. Less than 10% of women occupy leadership positions in agriculture. Architecture, the New York Times reported that women only make up half of students, but only 26% of the field. Construction, historically construction was thought to be a male-dominated industry because the work was physically demanding. While more women are entering the field, only 10.9% of construction managers in the US are women, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Firefighters, less than 5% of all firefighters in the United States are women. I didn't know that. Manufacturing, associated with heavy and manual labor and long hours. Manufacturing has a huge gender gap. According to a survey conducted by women in manufacturing, 68% of women would not consider entering that field. Software development, only 20% of software developers are women. You go over to farming, 24.4% of farmers in the US are women. Aerospace engineers, less than 8% of aerospace engineers are female. When you go into clergy, among clergy, only 17.6% are women. Television, video, motion picture, camera operators, and editors in these male-dominated careers, women only hold 21.4% of the jobs. Aircraft pilots and flight engineers, in these traditional male jobs, only 5.2% of pilots and flight engineers are women. When you go over to trucking, less than 5% of truck drivers are female. There are also carpentry and automotive service and about 50 to 60 other industries that are dominated by male in the high 90%. These industries are completely open for women to apply and occupy in larger numbers, but women choose not to, which is okay. What's been normalized is taking a small number of jobs like CEOs and board of directors and using those inequalities in those jobs to justify the gender gap inequalities everywhere, without first accepting maybe women just don't want to work in some of these industries. Maybe women don't want to be coal miners, and it's okay. But when you walk outside and you see the people working on the power lines, building our houses, building these skyscrapers, digging our sewers, working the salt mines, managing our water supply, and protecting our borders, you can't help but notice they are all majority men.